Hey there, it's Dave with Flipperforce. I'm excited to introduce you to some new improvements that we've been making to our investment packets. So our investment packets, they basically take all of the financial analysis information that you enter into the Flip Analyzer tool and the Burr Analyzer tool, and they put it into a printer-friendly professional report that you can use to share with your business partners and lenders to tell them about all the due diligence that you've put into this deal and present them with a nice professional packet so that way you can raise money for your deals. So let's show you some of the improvements that we've been making. We've got a bunch of different pages here that you can build out into your investment packet. We've got the cover page where you can upload a cover image. One of the new pages that we added was this executive summary. So the executive summary is an overall high-level view that you can give of the overall property investment. So you can upload some photos here, about 6 photos showing just kind of the overall exterior of the property and maybe some of the major features of the interior of the property, like the kitchen, the living area, and maybe the couple bedrooms or something like that. And then you can write a project description down here. So if you want to add some context to the flip opportunity, you can add in some text and a description here describing the opportunity to your business partners and lenders, telling them how good of a deal it is and how much money you'll make on the deal. And then you've got your investment summary, just kind of highlighting the overall financial results here. So what you think the after repair value is going to be, what all your project costs and selling costs will be on the project, and then ultimately how much project profit is in the deal, what your cash on cash return, and how much cash you're going to need to actually fund the deal yourself. And then we get into the property info page. So this is just the property info page that shows all of the basic property information, like the number of beds, number of baths, square footage, tells the location, the area of the property, stuff like that. You'll also see this new structural modifications table. So one new feature that we added over here on the project overview page a couple weeks ago is the ability to add in a structural modification. If you are finishing a basement, doing an addition to the property, stuff like that, you can add in a structural modification over there. That will feed back over here to the Flip investment packet right there on the property information sheet and show the structural changes that you're going to be making to the property. Our next page that got revamped was our project financial overview page. So we made some tweaks to the overall design. We added in this project timeline, which shows what your plan is for the overall project. So you can see on this project, we're going to be renovating the property for 4 months, and then we think it's going to take about 2 months to sell. So overall, it's going to be a 6-month timeline. And then we get into the actual project costs here. So how much capital is going to be needed to fund all of the purchase expenses, the repair costs, your holding costs, and financing costs, and then what the project returns will be when you go ahead and sell the property down the road. And so you can see here we're going to be making about $30,000 on this project. And then it's also got a breakdown of how the project is going to be funded. So again, we're going to need about $200,000 in capital for the project. We're going to need about $150,000 in funding. So net, the investor is going to have about $46,000 in cash in the deal. So that's a new table that we added to this report. We also added this pretty little chart. So if you like charts, this chart will tell you what percentage of the ARV each cost in the project is against the ARV. So if you're wondering, how much is the purchase price of the ARV, it says it's 50% of the ARV. You can see the profit is 12.1% of the ARV. And then we've got our return stats down here, just highlighting what the profit is, what the cash on cash return is on the project. So overall, some design tweaks to it. We added in some additional information about the project timeline, the financing, and then added a pretty little chart in there for you if you like charts. And so the next page that we added was a project capital overview. So this is a completely new page that we didn't have before, and this is just breaking down how the project is going to get funded and when you're going to encounter all of these costs. So if we go back to the Flip Analyzer, I'll just show you something real quick where this data is kind of coming from. There's a project capital tab, and this really breaks down how you'll be spending money over time on all your various expenses. So you can see your purchase closing expenses are happening at purchase closing when you buy the property, and then you're going to be spending money on repairs and your holding costs throughout the renovation and sales period. So we basically just took all that information and built it into our investment packet. Now there are a lot of columns over there on the project capital table, so we just kind of consolidated it down into just the overall categories here. So you can see at purchase closing, we're going to need about $130,000. That's going to be to fund the purchase amount plus our buying costs and our points. And then during the flip, when we're spending money on the renovations, the holding costs, the interest payments to our lender, we're going to need $69,000 for a total of that $199,000. And then we're going to be getting funding on the deal. And so the lender, I believe we had it set up for 80% of the purchase and then 100% of the rehab, and so that's how that breaks down here. So they're going to be giving us about $93,000 at purchase closing, then they're going to be funding the full amount during the flip for a total of $153,000. And so now you can see what our total cash is going to be needed over the entire period. At closing, we're going to need $36,000. During the flip, we'll only need $9,000 to cover some of those holding costs that the lender's not going to be giving us, for a total of $46,000. So that's what this page is doing, is really just giving you an overall breakdown of the capital that's going to be needed. So we're going to need, $199,000. The lender's only giving us $153,000, and we're going to need $46,000 in cash. So that's how what this page is doing, is giving you a breakdown of the overall project capital. Another page that we're still working on is our loan page, which is going to show you a breakdown of like the financial details of each loan. So be looking for that in the future. Otherwise, we've still got our other pages here. If you scroll down, we've got our estimate summary. This is just going to provide an overall summary view of all of your estimated costs that feeds from the repair estimator tool. And so you can see if you want to give your business partner or lender a nice financial breakdown of all of the major categories on the project, this will be your report that you can use here. And then you can get into the detailed estimate information. So if you want to show a detailed breakdown of every single line item that you've included in each category, you can provide a detailed scope of work showing every single repair item that's included in your scope of work. And then finally, we've got your photos page, and this is a area where you can upload all of your property photos and build out a gallery. So I think you can upload up to 25 photos. I'm not sure if there's a limit on that or not, but the executive summary page up here, this is where you can upload all of the major photos, like the overall highlights of the exterior, how the property looks, the major interior areas. But if you want to upload a whole bunch of more photos just showing the overall nooks and crannies of every single area in the property, then this would be a good spot for you to upload those photos as well. So ultimately, this creates a very professional report for you that you can share with your business partners and lenders. If you give your business partner or lender this level of detail on your due diligence and stuff like that, hopefully you'll be able to get better terms with your lender. It'll prove that you've got the track record to do that project, and you'll be able to get better rates, better terms, stuff like that, save you money hopefully in the future. So let me know if you have any questions or feedback on our new investment packet enhancements, and if you have any feedback, let us know.